Let me answer the questions you're actually asking, not the questions meteorologists think you should ask. The real questions, the ones in your comments. Why does my town get nothing while the town 50 miles away gets buried? Why do temperatures swing 40 degrees in 12 hours? Why can't forecasters agree on anything? When is my area finally going to get what it needs, rain or snow? And the biggest question of all, why should I trust this forecast when things keep changing? Comment your city and state right now. Because generic answers don't help you, specific answers do. And I'm giving specific answers to the top 50 most commented locations. Your city makes the list if you comment. City and state. Right now, let's start with the question that affects millions. Why does lake effect snow bury some areas while missing others completely? Cincinnati parent watching with a 7-year-old. Week of disappointment. Buffalo getting 3 feet. Syracuse getting 2 feet. Cleveland getting a foot. Cincinnati, nothing. That 7-year-old doesn't understand. Honestly, most adults don't either. Here's the answer in plain English. Lake effect snow requires 3 things. Cold air, warm water, right wind direction. Get all 3, you get snow. Miss any one, you get nothing. Right now, Arctic air around 10 degrees is flowing across the Great Lakes. The lakes are around 40 degrees. That 30-degree temperature difference is massive. Cold air flows over warm water, picks up moisture, rises when it hits land, cools, and dumps snow. But here's the critical part. Wind direction determines who gets hit. Northwest winds mean Buffalo gets crushed. Air flows from northwest to southeast across Lake Erie. Buffalo sits on the southeast shore. Perfect position. Maximum fetch. That's the distance air travels over water. Maximum moisture pickup, maximum snow. If winds were west, Erie, Pennsylvania gets destroyed instead. If winds were southwest, Cleveland gets hammered. If winds were south, Toledo gets buried. Small wind direction changes create huge snowfall differences. Cincinnati? You're not downwind of any Great Lake. You're in the Ohio River Valley. No matter what direction wind blows, you don't get lake effect. That's why your daughter is disappointed. Geography, not luck. But here's hope. Next week, the pattern changes. Storms will track from the Pacific over the Rockies through the Ohio Valley. System snow, not lake effect. Cincinnati could get in on that. Tell your daughter to be patient. Tennessee, same answer for you. Multiple comments begging for snow. I'm in Tennessee. It's cold but sucks because there's no snow. You're south of lake effect zones. You need Gulf moisture. You need storms tracking up from the south. This week, you're cut off. Next week, door opens. Now, the temperature question. Maryland comment. Went from about 54 in the morning to 19 and windy in the evening. That's 35 degrees in 12 hours. Why? Arctic fronts. When Arctic air masses collide with warm air masses, the boundary is sharp, not gradual, sharp. Think of it like a wall of cold air pushing south. On one side of the wall, it's warm, on the other side, it's freezing. When that wall passes over you, temperature crashes. This isn't normal weather. This is extreme weather. Normal cold fronts drop temperatures 5 to 10 degrees. Arctic fronts drop temperatures 20 to 40 degrees. That's what you're experiencing. Your body can't adjust to that. The comment about sinuses and migraines, that's real biology. Rapid barometric pressure changes and temperature swings trigger physiological responses. Blood vessels constrict. Sinus pressure builds. Joints ache. It's not weakness. It's physics acting on your body. Stay hydrated, use a humidifier, rest when you can. If it's severe, see a doctor. This is legitimate medical impact. Now, the forecasting question. Multiple comments saying you say this every day or you're never right or things keep changing. Let me explain how forecasting works and why it changes. Weather models are mathematical simulations of the atmosphere. They take current conditions, apply physics equations, and project forward. We run these simulations every 6 hours. New data comes in. New calculations run. Forecasts change. The farther out you forecast, the more uncertainty. 24 hours out? Pretty accurate. 72 hours out? Still good. 7 days out? General pattern reliable. Specifics uncertain. 10 days out. Pattern ideas only. Details will change. So when I forecast a storm 10 days away, I'm telling you a storm is possible. Not that it's guaranteed. Models will shift, tracks will change, intensity will vary. That's normal. That's how forecasting works. When I repeat similar forecasts day after day, it's because the pattern persists. If Arctic air is going to dominate for a week, I'm going to warn you every day that week. That's not being wrong. That's being consistent. When forecasts change, it's because new information came in. Better to change the forecast with new data than stick with old forecasts that's wrong. You want me to adapt. Trust me. Now, specific location deep dives based on comments. Marietta, Georgia. 25 degrees here in Marietta, Georgia this morning. Could you show what is going on in Alaska, specifically Fort Wainwright? Here's the irony. Fort Wainwright is warmer than Marietta right now. Mid-30s. Alaska is experiencing a warm pattern while Georgia freezes. The cold air that normally sits over Alaska has been displaced south. It's sitting over you. This is called a negative Arctic oscillation. When it's negative, Arctic air escapes the polar region and flows south. Alaska loses its cold. Lower 48 gains it. By this weekend, you warm back up. 50s and 60s return. But tonight and tomorrow, bundle up. This is real cold for Georgia. Buffalo. Thanks, I'm loving the weather here in Buffalo, New York. Reminds me of winters of my childhood in the 60s. You're getting your wish. Old school winter. 2 to 3 feet of lake effect. Sustained cold. This is what winters used to be like. Before the string of mild winters we had in the 2000s and 2010s, this is real winter. For people who love winter, this is heaven. For everyone else, it's exhausting. You're clearly in the love camp. Enjoy it. Make memories, because winters like this are increasingly rare. Northeast Ohio. Shoveled a lot of snow this morning in Northeast Ohio. You're in the Cleveland snow belt, downwind of Lake Erie. This is your life every winter. But this year is more intense. Lake effect bands are stronger and more persistent. You're going to shovel a lot more before this is done. Shoveling advice. Don't try to clear everything at once. Clear paths, door to car to street, mailbox. That's enough. You'll have to do it again in a few hours anyway. Pace yourself. Shoveling is intense cardiovascular work in cold air. Heart attacks happen. Take breaks. Stay hydrated. Stop if you feel chest pain or shortness of breath. Syracuse. We have 13 inches in Syracuse, New York. Another comment. I think Syracuse has got a foot of snow since 11 p.m. last night. You're getting destroyed by Lake Ontario. Bands are setting up and parking. When a snow band sits over one location for hours, snow piles up fast. 2 to 3 inches per hour. That's 5 to 6 inches in 2 hours. 10 to 12 inches in 4 hours. You can't keep up. Roof load concern. Snow is heavy. Wet snow is heavier. A foot of wet snow can weigh 5 to 10 pounds per square foot. Roofs have load limits. If you have an old roof or a flat roof, consider professional snow removal. Collapses happen. Better to pay for removal than pay for a new roof and insurance deductible. Gaylord, Michigan. We've gotten 15 inches probably in Gaylord, Michigan in the last 2 days. Northern Michigan is getting pounded from both sides. Lake Michigan to the west, Lake Huron to the east. You're in the convergence zone where both lakes send moisture. That's why your totals are so high. Another foot possible by Thursday. Maybe more. Travel is not advised. Visibility is 0 in snow bands. Even if you have 4-wheel drive, you can't drive if you can't see. Stay home. Southwestern Pennsylvania. Southwestern PA already got roughly 4.5 inches last night into this morning. We here in southwestern corner of Pennsylvania farmlands have been hit, then thawed, then hit again. Freeze-thaw cycles are the worst. You clear snow, it melts. You think you're done. It snows again. Now you're dealing with ice under new snow. Can't see the ice. Can't anticipate it. Feet go out. Cars slide. This is most dangerous condition. Solution: sand or kitty litter on walkways and driveways. Not salt. Salt doesn't work below 15 degrees, and it damages concrete. Sand provides traction without chemical damage or temperature limits. Western New York. 19 degrees feeling like -4 in Western New York. And yes, it's snowing. Wind chill isn't just discomfort, it's danger. At -4 wind chill, exposed skin can get frostbite in 30 minutes. At -20, it's 10 minutes. At -40, it's 5 minutes. Wind chill measures how fast your body loses heat. Full coverage required. Face mask or scarf over face. Insulated gloves, not thin ones. Hat that covers ears. Multiple layers. No exposed skin. Limit time outside. This is survival mode cold. Maryland. Maryland went from about 54 in the morning to 19 and windy in the evening. That 35-degree drop in 12 hours is physiologically violent. Your body regulates temperature within a narrow range. External temperature changes that fast force your body to work overtime. Blood vessels constrict to conserve heat. That triggers migraines. Sinus cavities react to rapid pressure changes. Joints stiffen. This is real medical impact. And you're right about reptiles needing secondary heat. Basking bulbs alone can't compensate for that rapid drop. Heat pads, ceramic heaters, keep them at 72 minimum. Cold-blooded animals die in cold. You're doing it right. Mid-Missouri. Currently 18 in mid-Missouri. By Sunday, upper 50s. Christmas Day was low 70s. Bipolar weather. 18 to 73 in less than a week. That's a 55-degree range. That's not weather variation, that's weather chaos. This is what meridional jet stream patterns do. Wild swings, no stability. Next week continues this. Be prepared for anything. Eastern Ontario. In Eastern Ontario right now, 5 degrees feels like -13. We're still trying to figure out who stole our snow. Great Lakes stole it. All the moisture is going to lake effect. You're in the cold air mass, but not in the snow zone. Honestly, that's better for you. Cold without snow is more manageable than cold with snow. You can still drive. You don't have to shovel. Take the win. Tampa Bay. I'm currently in Tampa Bay area, but I am from Iowa. I saw the cold weather advisory for wind chills as low as 27. I chuckled. Perspective is important. 27 is nothing for Iowa. But Florida isn't built for any cold. Pipes aren't insulated. Buildings aren't sealed. People don't own coats. Infrastructure designed for heat, not cold. So even mild cold is problematic. Don't mock Florida for struggling. They're doing their best with what they have. Just like Iowa would struggle with 95-degree heat and humidity. Different infrastructure, different challenges. Central Florida. I'm in Central Florida. I literally have Facebook memory photos of us in the pool on New Year's Day. That memory makes current cold feel worse. Your brain remembers pool weather, sunshine, shorts. That contrast is jarring. This weekend, you warm back up. 60s and 70s return. By next week, you might be pool adjacent again. Florida weather whiplashes. Texas. Poor Texas, we need a winter and rain. The bugs won't die if it keeps getting to 85. Dry in West Texas still. We've had no rain in Northwest Louisiana and we need it bad. Dallas is experiencing one of the driest Decembers on record. That means fire danger, stressed vegetation, bugs surviving, high water costs, drought is slow disaster. Timeline for relief. This weekend, you warm up. 70s and 80s. Still dry. Not helpful yet. But Monday through Wednesday next week, jet stream dips. Pacific storms cross Rockies. They pull Gulf moisture north. That means rain. Real rain. Soaking rain. Not this week. Next week. Be patient. It's coming. Colorado. Is there any hope for Colorado to get snow this year? Yes. Mountains are getting pounded now. Ski resorts are happy. But Denver and Front Range are warm and dry. Frustrating for you. Why? Jet stream is currently north of Colorado. Storms hitting Pacific Northwest, not you. Next week, jet stream dips south. When it dips, storms track over Colorado. That's when Denver gets snow. Patience, your turn is coming. Now, addressing specific questions from comments, what does the gold color represent on weather maps? Gold indicates extreme values beyond normal scale. If purple is 30 degrees below average, gold is 40 plus below average. Off the chart cold, rare, dangerous. Pay attention when you see gold. Is Indiana considered Midwest or Ohio Valley? Both? Yes, both. Northern Indiana is Midwest. Southern Indiana along Ohio River is Ohio Valley. Regional boundaries overlap. Depends on context. Both answers are correct. Why is that area called Midwest when it's North Central? Historical naming. In 1800s, Ohio and Indiana were the West. Name stuck even as country expanded further west. Now it's geographically North Central but still called Midwest. Historical inertia. Whatever happened to the term wind chill factor? Still exists. Now called wind chill or feels like temperature, same concept. Perceived temperature on exposed skin based on air temperature and wind speed. Different name, same measurement. Any particular reasons you don't talk about Canadian side of the Northeast? You'll reference tiny New York towns but never mention Toronto. Fair criticism. Toronto is huge. Bigger than Buffalo. Deserves mention. I focus on US weather primarily. Canadian data sometimes on different systems. But you're right. I'll improve Canadian coverage. Valid complaint. Do you have Android phone app? Would be nice to have. Not yet. Multiple requests. Exploring options. For now, YouTube is platform, but this is on my radar, hearing the demand. You should think about adding information on effects of NFL games. Brilliant idea. Weather dramatically affects football. Cold affects ball grip, wind affects passes, snow affects footing and field vision. I'll incorporate this. Great suggestion. I wish you'd use numeric dates because the days bleed together when you talk. Perfect feedback. Using numeric dates now. December 30th, January 1st, January 7th. More clear, less confusing. Thank you for speaking up. Safety lessons from community comments. If you're traveling during these storms, make sure you keep an emergency kit in your vehicle. Add these items: blanket or sleeping bag, food and water for 24 hours, flashlight with extra batteries, first aid kit, phone charger, preferably battery-powered, shovel, sand or kitty litter for traction, jumper cables. If you get stranded, this kit saves your life. Anyone made sure to do a test run with your snowblowers yet? If not, you should. This is critical. Snowblowers sit idle all summer, often won't start when needed. Test today. Change oil, fresh gas, new spark plug if needed. Make sure it runs. When snow is falling at 2 inches per hour, you don't want to be troubleshooting equipment. Tires don't like these temperature drops. Please don't let pets be exposed too long. Check on the elders. All critical. Tire pressure drops 1 psi per 10-degree temperature drop. Check weekly in winter. Underinflated tires are dangerous on ice. Pets get hypothermia and frostbite. They can't vocalize suffering. Bring them in. Elderly neighbors are vulnerable. 5-minute check could prevent tragedy. There are plenty of hospital employees that are still working during this winter regardless of the weather. Hospital workers, EMS, police, fire, utility crews, plow drivers. They don't get snow days. They risk their lives so we stay safe and warm. Thank them. They're heroes working in worse conditions. Call to action. How you help yourself and community. Comment your city and state. Top 50 locations get detailed follow-ups. Your voice creates content. Like this video, algorithm shows liked videos to people in your area. Your like warns your neighbors. Subscribe. Pattern evolves daily. Updates constant. Don't miss critical information. Notifications on. Bell icon. Emergency alerts when storms threaten. Immediate warning saves lives. Share with people who need it. Elderly relatives. Long commuters. People not paying attention. Information only helps when shared. Bottom line summary. Lake effect continues through Wednesday. 2 to 3 feet in heavy bands. Cold persists through Thursday. Pattern shifts next week. Storms develop. Some bring long-awaited moisture. Some bring more snow. Questions answered. Cincinnati and Tennessee, your snow might come next week when pattern shifts. Texas and Louisiana, rain arrives next week via Pacific storms. Colorado, Denver, snow possible when jet stream dips. Florida, warmth returns this weekend. Buffalo and Syracuse, you're almost through this round. Your confusion has been addressed. Forecasting isn't perfect, but it's based on science and physics. Changes happen because new data arrives. Trust the process. Prepare now. Stock supplies, test equipment, help neighbors. Stay informed. Community matters. Comment, like, subscribe, share. Together we're stronger. Winter is hard. Understanding it makes it manageable. Stay safe, stay warm, stay educated. Next update Thursday, January 2nd. Until then, watch the skies and trust the science. God bless.